My name is Scott Oshman with BuyBox Experts, and this is Crash Course. BuyBox Experts is a full-service account and advertising Amazon management company. I'm here at the Outdoor and Snow Show, and my presentation was Amazon or off Amazon? That is the question. We have two parts of the presentation, and the first one is on Amazon. Let's dive into that first. The big takeaway is it's crowded. The marketplace is completely mature, and now the big are getting bigger and everybody else has to kind of figure it out. What's happening now is off Amazon. So there's a huge amount of work and a lot of things you have to do. The largest sellers are driving traffic off Amazon to Amazon, and that is the new game sweeping the nation. So the main thing on Amazon we want to focus is brand control on your listing. Do you have the right people listing there, and is the price integrity there? The second thing is making sure the listing is completely optimized, meaning it's got all the images, it looks great. The content, do we have all the right copy, not only to be consistent with your brand message, but also does it have the keywords in the copy? And the last thing is the keywords on the back end. On the back end, behind Amazon in the portal of Seller Central or Vendor Central, you have to put in all these keywords, matches, phrases, targeting. So all of that behind the screen is actually driving people to your listing. The other big takeaway that people don't realize on Amazon is 78% of searches on Amazon are generic, not branded. If you do all of those things, then you will see a rise in organic search relevance, meaning you're not paying advertising. You will see your listing actually leapfrog other listings to the top of the page where you might get an Amazon badge choice. The bottom line here is your sales will grow. And the last thing is advertising. When they go to Amazon, make sure that they're driving traffic to your listing. That is weighted even higher in 2020 than it has been ever before, and becoming a big, big part of the success on Amazon. The risk of not doing it in 2020 is you're going to get farther and farther below page one. And we know from a lot of research, it's the top 14 items or so that actually do all the business. Second big part of the presentation is off Amazon. And that is really what has just grown tremendously in the last 2 years. And we're going to break that down in three ways. It's omni-channel, it's what I call the IKEA way, and the third way is what I call the in-home, smart home paid services. So omni-channel is basically, do you have multiple sales channels? Are you selling lots of product to lots of people? Is it wide distribution but controlled? Dynamic inventory, dynamic pricing, omni-channel. The second thing is what I call the IKEA way, which is really build it yourself. Building a landing page as a sub-URL on your website and creating an engagement. It can be a coupon, a promotion, it can be an education, some way that you're going to get people excited and go to this landing page. Then you have to go through all your PPC search and Google search and social. You have to drive all these engaged people to this landing page, and then you educate them or have the promotion, and then you give them a choice. You can go to Amazon to buy it, or you can buy it from our site. And that is how you drive traffic directly from off Amazon right to your listing. And what that does, it keys conversion. Conversion rate of 25 to 30, even higher than that, is what will jack up organic rankings. It takes time, 2 to 4 months. You have to build this entire program and then drive them to the Amazon listing. High conversion rate, high organic search, high sales. Third way is the smart home services, where you're like, I love this whole kitchen, I'm just going to go away for a week and I want it installed and done. That is basically going outside of Amazon and driving as much traffic to that Amazon listing. Through PPC, through social, through what we call DSP or display side, so banners. You're just driving millions and millions of impressions to that listing. You get high conversion, not quite as high as the IKEA way, but you drive up massive amounts of conversion, high rank, high organic search, high sales. So the key here is if you don't have the infrastructure, Amazon does a lot of things that many people do. They just do it in a very complex, maintenance, data-driven way. And to weave through all these different strategies and all these different techniques, you need expertise. This is now should be looked at as a channel to navigate what you're trying to do in the whole marketplace, whether it's US or even global. Thanks so much for listening. This is Scott Oshman with BuyBox Experts, and this has been Crash Course.